We have specific immune cells that are cancer seek and destroy cells, and they will look for anomalous cells and go and destroy them. And so this is very interesting that we have these pathways, and that many of these pathways can be triggered through fasting, and that okay, these autophagy pathways, self-eating, go in and recycle, destroy the dysfunctional, cells, replace them with more functional cells. The fact that, like, what an incredible thing that the body can even do it. Like, I don't honestly know that I ever heard about autophagy in medical school, for example. And, I feel like it's starting to get out into the broader medical discussion, like a little bit on the edge. But like, I just have to think about what is the right way to talk about it. Like, yeah, just to take a moment and just be amazed at the body that these pathways exist. And we think, like, this has to be like a fundamental part of the system, right? When we think about, okay, what is a human body? What does it do? What is it capable of? The fact that we have cellular cleansing pathways that are about clearing out dysfunctional proteins, helping to refresh and revitalize the system, like that's so cool. Like, I just think it's so cool. And it just tells me personally, when I think about it, like, this, I don't know, on a philosophical as much as scientific level, it has to be something the body wants and expects to be happening. It feels to me, as I study it and read about it, that this is like a core function of the human body, and that we should be having it, and that it's a normal part of how the system operates. Which tells me that a fasting practice should be, in an ideal scenario, a routine part of human functioning, and that we would be getting this effect, this autophagy effect, routinely. And then you think about, well, what does it look like if you're routinely getting an autophagy effect? Well, it looks like, keeping your house clean, It looks like things put away in their proper place so that the pathways are clear. I think about, like, sometimes, like, oh, we didn't get all the kids' stuff put away, and the dog's thing was over here, and it's like, oh, then you're up in the middle of the night and you're tripping over stuff, right? So you think, if a cell is not cleaned up, right? If our body is not operating smoothly, well, like, what is happening in the cell? If things are getting tripped up, then, like, this is how we get, cellular dysfunction and damage. Then our metabolism is not working well. This can manifest, in different ways. Part, I think, of how it manifests is insulin resistance. Part of how it manifests is like low energy. So I think this process, even though it's such a weird word, I think maybe we need a different word. I don't know, than autophagy. I don't know. It is the word that's got to exist, but for, like, popular consumption, like, how do you talk about it in a way that's more relatable? I don't know, because, like, when you look at what it is, like, what if autophagy was a pill, right? Like, what would a patent on that look like? Like that, like, you take this pill, cleanse and revitalize your system, refresh your organelles. Such weird, these sciencey words. Boost your immune system and optimize, cancer seek and destroy mode. Like, I mean, a lot of people would want a pill like that, but there is no pill that is like that. So this is what I was saying. Fasting, like the gift of autophagy, right? Like, you fast, it's not like you get anything, like, you don't get anything for it. Like, I want to help people kind of reverse this mindset of this thinking, like fasting from our culture, because this is a consumption culture, right? We are always thinking, snacks and consume. And so to deviate from that, to say, oh, we're going to go in a different direction, to open up fasting space, is kind of countercultural, right? It feels like a little like, oh, this isn't what we do. And when you look at what fasting gives you, right? This would be the reversal, to not think of it like, oh, I'm cutting back, I'm depriving, we almost think in this culture like, oh, I'm punishing myself, like, oh, I'm so deprived. When you start to look, okay, we have autophagy. We have this cellular pathway of cleansing and renewal in the body that is like, it's in every type of cell, has autophagy pathways. Like, here's what we do when we flip into this alternate state. If we are never practicing fasting, like if we never have a break from, like, I was saying the one side of the system, right? Where we're practicing burning off the food and running that. If we never run on the other system and we're never activating these autophagy pathways, like the cells never get a break. They never get to run the other side of the system. And so when you start to see it that way, that's how I see it. Like, it is like a gift to the cell. There's not a cell, right? There's like 1 trillion cells in the body. We're like this huge collection of cells. So when we refer to the cell, we're talking about like just the metaphorical representative cell in our body. But we're talking about all our cells. We're really just talking about the body, right? We're giving the body a gift. Like, if you're never experiencing this autophagy, and then you open up the space to let the body do it, I just think like the body is saying like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, do we get to do this now? Like, thank God. Like, we get to run these autophagy pathways. Like, let's get to work. And I think it takes, if you haven't practiced it a while, that's why I think it's hard, because fasting is not really part of our standard culture. So if you haven't been practicing it, that's why the shift is hard. It's like, I picture some like guard at a watchtower at some medieval, castle, and it's 3 a.m. and they're asleep on the shift, because like nobody has ever come to attack in 2 years, and all of a sudden the army's coming and they don't know, like, whoa, it like takes a little bit, but that's why I tell people, ease into it. Don't have to rush anything. Slowly open up that space. And then I think the body, I like to try to personify it, to make it personal. Really, the body is not like thinking, but like, I think it's just like, you have got to be kidding me. Can we actually just start running the autophagy pathways? Like some cell in the back is like, yeah, we got the plans over here, like we got to dig them out. Like there's boxes on top of them. And then we like, get the autophagy pathways out, start running them. We were saying, what if autophagy was a pill? Could you give it to someone? Could you buy it? This thing, you can't buy it. This is what's so interesting to me. Autophagy is nothing you can buy. It's something you have to do, and it's not something you can do for someone else. It's something you have to do for yourself. And so I think about like, can we give ourselves this gift? And I really do love that thought. Of course, it's good to share. It's good to be generous. It's good to have a season of focusing on others. Okay. But like, also we have to take care of ourselves. And are we giving our body the space to have these, what I think are actually just basic fundamental health processes that should be running, in the body?